His luck is 1 in a million. I have never seen such a fate. And his luck will bring happiness to the people around him. He laughed loudly and said 3 times, "Very good, very good, very good." The prince was overjoyed. He held my hand and said, "Brother, no, future brother-in-law. I had said it before, people of one house meet each other. I liked you at first sight." I was a little startled and said, laughing, "Prince." The prince interrupted, "Say brother-in-law. Do not say prince. You are older, so just say hate." He bowed to the saint, pulled me outside, and first dropped me at my room. Then he said, "Brother-in-law, stay here. I am going to give the good news." And after instructing the servants, he left in a flash. I stood there amazed. This change was very fast, but it seemed the work was done. A little later, the king himself came out from the back room and said to the saint, "Mahatma Ji, what you said, is it true?" The saint folded his hands and said, "King, saints do not lie. This match is strong. A right person has been found for the princess. He will bring happiness to your whole house." Hearing this, the king laughed loudly. "Wow, my son is amazing." Then he asked, "Will he take care of my daughter?" The saint said truthfully, "Both will become each other's support. They will remain together till old age." The king was very happy and said, "Mahatma Ji, find a good day for the wedding." Meanwhile, the prince ran to the main room and shouted. Mother and elder brother were sitting there talking. Mother asked, startled, "What happened? Why such hurry?" The prince said, "Mother, this time we have truly found a gem. Happiness is coming to the whole house." Mother asked in surprise, "Why?" The prince said excitedly, "Listen what Mahatma Ji said about Li Shao. His luck is 1 in a million, and his luck will bring happiness to the whole house." Silence spread in the room. Mother's eyes became moist. She closed her eyes and prayed for a while. Then looking at the prince, she said lovingly, "You did very well, son. You worked very hard for your sister." Hearing this, his eyes filled up. The elder brother also said, "Truly, you did wonders. Because of you, we found such a son-in-law." The prince laughed and said, "It was my duty." Mother asked, "Where is father?" The prince said, "He is with the saint, I think." Mother said softly, "He wanted to see the boy himself, but he would not admit it. So he must be watching from behind through the saint." The prince understood and said, "Okay, mother. I am going to give sister the good news." He ran to the princess's room. "Sister, it is done." The princess asked, startled, "Why so much noise?" The prince said, "Your marriage is fixed." She said, "Really?" The prince said, "Yes. Father is already thinking of the wedding date." The princess was surprised. The prince smiled and said, "Sister, this time your brother has truly found the right person for you. Tell me, what will you give me in return?" The princess said, "Go. I will give you a book. Learn to read." The prince made a face. "Sister, what kind of reward is that?" The princess laughed. "First tell me what the saint said." The prince repeated everything. As she listened, the princess's eyes grew wider. The prince said, "Sister, tell me, did brother do good or not?" The princess blushed a little and said, "Father has said yes." The prince said, "Absolutely. Consider the marriage fixed." The princess thought, "Now there will be a stir in the whole palace." She felt a little nervous, a little shy. She thought, if he truly brings happiness for us, then this will be my contribution to the house. Whatever happens, I will go with the family's wish. The princess nodded lightly. The prince clapped happily and left. The princess went to the window. Outside, ducks were swimming in pairs in the lake. Li Shao's face came to her mind. Will he take care of me? After the saint's words, my place in the palace changed. Everyone began behaving well with me. But my decision was firm. I would not stay only for show. First, it was necessary that the princess truly like me. So I went to her room with the excuse of studies. The maid opened the door. She asked in surprise, "You here?" I smiled and said, "I wanted to meet the princess. I need her help in studies. I cannot understand something." The maid looked around and said softly, "Sahib, meeting before marriage is not proper." I said politely, "It is just one question. It will take only a little time." The maid thought and said, Okay, wait. I will go and ask. She went up. The princess was writing. The maid said, Princess, he has come. The princess's face turned red. She said, Meeting before marriage is not proper. Refuse. The maid said, He says he needs help in studies. He has truly come because of your intelligence. The princess felt a little happy, but still shook her head. No, send him back. We will see after marriage. The maid came down and said, The princess has refused. Come after marriage. I asked how was her face. The maid hesitated. I smiled and extended 2 gold coins toward her. She quickly took them and said, Truthfully, the princess seemed a little happy. But it is difficult for her to break rules. Okay, so she is not refused. She is just shy. I told the maid. Go and tell her that if she does not meet me, I will stand here until she comes. The maid looked at me in surprise, then a smile came on her face. She went up and told the princess. The princess said, He is stubborn, just like brother. But inside there was a little happiness and nervousness too. The maid said softly, Princess, such a person is very rare. But the princess refused. A whole day she made him wait. Nearby, mother said, Daughter is right. Meeting before marriage is not proper. Then she looked at father. Father laughed and dismissed the topic. The prince said without hesitation, But father, you also met mother before marriage. I have heard there was even a quarrel. Silence fell on the whole table. Only the elder brother's eating sound could be heard. He said while chewing a bone, Today's food is very good. Eat, everyone. Why have you stopped? Then he bent down and started eating again. Just then mother started coughing loudly. Father immediately got up and went to pat her back. He said lovingly, What happened? Is your health still bad? The local doctors are not good. In a few days I will call the royal physician from the big city. Mother looked at him once, then got up and left. Father also went after her. The prince asked, So sister can meet? Father glared at him while leaving. The prince understood that it meant yes. He left his food and ran. The younger brother also followed. Brother, wait, let me also see. After everyone left, the elder brother looked at the table and smiled. I got all the food. The maid rolled her eyes. You just keep eating. The elder brother laughed. Food should never be wasted. And I was still standing below the princess's room. The maid peeked and said to the princess, Princess, he has been standing for a whole day. He has not even eaten. His health will worsen. Please meet him once. The princess felt both happiness and pity. She asked, Really, he has not gone all day? The maid said, Yes. I have seen it myself. He has not gone anywhere. He is standing hungry. The princess said, Okay, call him quickly. And send a bowl of hot noodles too. He must fill his stomach. The maid happily went down. Just then a loud voice came. Sister, meet him. The poor boy has been standing hungry all day. It was the prince's voice. Then a second voice came. Sister, meet him. He has been hungry all day. It was the younger brother's voice. Then the prince shouted, Sister, father has also said you can meet. The younger brother repeated, Sister, father has said. The voices of both brothers echoed through the whole palace. The maid looked at the princess. The princess made a face and said, Wait, do not call him yet. The maid said yes. I was standing below thinking. It had become night. I had waited all day. Now she would surely soften. But these 2 brothers ruined everything. Now how could the princess come out because of shyness? I called both of them and said softly, Brothers, your intention is good, but leave from here. The prince thumped his chest and said, No, friend. I am with you. The younger one wiped his nose and said, I am also with you. I took them aside and explained softly. Tell me honestly, will sister come out while you people are here? The prince understood. He pulled the younger one and said, Come on, friend. Both left. I breathed a sigh of relief. Only the closed door was in front. My mind thought, should I stay or go? Truly, hunger was making my head spin. Another hour passed. Night fully fell. A first meeting in the dark did not feel right. I thought of going back. Just then, the door opened slowly. The maid came out with a bowl of noodles and said, Please eat. Do not stay hungry. I immediately asked, Will the princess meet me? The maid smiled and said, First eat the food. Then I will tell you. I quickly took the bowl and finished it in moments. I was truly very hungry. The maid asked, "Did you like it?" I drank the last sip from the bowl and said, "Very good." The maid smiled and said, "The princess made this herself with her own hands." As soon as I heard this, I picked up even the last remaining noodle from the bowl and put it in my mouth. The maid took the empty bowl back and said, "The princess has said it is night now. Come tomorrow." And the door closed. There was happiness in my heart. When a girl cooks for someone herself, what does it mean? And a high person like the princess had made food with her own hands. Today's day was good. I glanced up once and walked back smiling. Up on the third floor, the princess asked the maid, "Did he go?" The maid moved her head from the window and said, "Yes, he is gone." While going, he also looked up once. The princess smiled lightly, held the maid's hand, and walked toward the wardrobe. "Tell me, what should I wear to meet him tomorrow?" At night, after bathing in flower-scented water, the princess lay under the quilt. Thinking of tomorrow's meeting, she felt nervous. Sleep did not come. What is happening to me? I am the princess of Delhi. I am a princess. He is just a farmer. He should be nervous, not me. He should be unable to sleep. And me? I slept peacefully all night. The next day, early in the morning, I reached below the princess's room and knocked. The maid said, "It is morning. I will tell her." There was some nervousness in my mind. After about 15 minutes, the door opened. A beautiful figure was slowly coming down the stairs. This was the princess. She wore a light blue dress with cherry flowers embroidered on it, delicate and magnificent. Her face was covered with a veil, but just from her walk and clothes, her beauty was clearly visible. I kept staring. Just then, the system's voice came in my ear. "Princess Zuniying. Age 18. Do you want a bond? Once bonded, it cannot be changed." I said bond. The system said, "Bond complete." Sweet love system started. Identity bonus, 50x. A gift is being given to the new user. In the gift, I received +3 to all attributes. 990,000 gold. A pair of true love rings. And a permanent buff. In the eyes of love, everyone looks beautiful. That meant the princess would always appear to me in her most beautiful form. This was a very big gift. At the same time, a warmth ran through my whole body. Strength, agility, mind, everything improved. The princess said in a sweet voice, "I heard you had some difficulty in studies. May I help?" For the first time, I saw her from so close. Even with the veil, her grace and delicacy were clearly visible. I immediately bowed and said, "Forgive me, I got a little lost." In the very first meeting itself, "Thank you, princess." She was the one who was going to be my life partner. In my mind, I felt, I will not deceive her. The princess said softly, "Which part did you not understand?" "I do not know much, but," I said, "Princess, I am only a farmer. Even a little guidance from you is a big thing for me. The book is in my room. If you would like." The princess said, "Okay, let's go." I politely showed the way. On the way, I made light conversation about the weather, the palace garden, just to make the atmosphere comfortable. She was a princess, the king's eldest daughter, traditional in thought and incomparable. I could feel that she was very good at heart. Even if the world turned its face away from her because of her appearance, because of the buff, she would always look beautiful to me. The system said, "Princess's liking +28. Now it has become 58. 10 points for conversation, with 50x bonus equals 500 points. Just from talking, so many points. And 58 liking meant the princess was beginning to like me a little. After some time, we reached my room. I said, "Princess, please come in." She agreed. I took out the book and made a troubled face. "This is very difficult. Princess, please have a look." I placed 2 chairs. "Please sit." The maid said, "I will be outside." And she closed the door and left. In my mind, I thanked her. Suddenly, we were alone. The princess felt a little nervous. I quickly opened the book and showed her a passage. I did not understand this part. The princess looked and began explaining. "Li Shao ji, this line means, repeatedly practice what you have learned. Is that not happiness? And when a friend comes from afar, Is that not even more joyful? I was pretending to listen attentively. Actually, my eyes were on her hands. Because of the buff, her hands looked extremely beautiful, delicate. I started thinking, how would her face look under the veil? Just then the princess felt that I was looking at her hands. She quickly hid her hands. But by then my eyes had already returned to the book. Although I wanted to tell her that her face did not matter to me, that was not the right time. I changed the subject and laughed. Princess, you explained so well. I was understanding it completely wrong earlier. She asked, what were you understanding? I said shyly. Like this line? I was thinking it means, if a good person has to hit someone, hit hard, otherwise no status is made. For a moment, everything stopped. Then the princess burst out laughing. A clear, sweet laugh. What kind of understanding is this? Then she asked, in this line? I said, I thought it means, if parents are there, do not go far. And if you do go, they will find a way to catch you. The princess laughed again. And I said, I thought Confucius was someone who defeated people in strange ways and made them unconscious. The princess started laughing loudly. The sound of laughter echoed in the room. Outside, the maid's eyes became moist. More than 3 years had passed since the princess had laughed so openly. Just then, the prince came from outside. The maid signaled him to stay quiet. The prince tiptoed near the door and pressed his ear. From inside, the princess's laughter was coming. Yes, yes, this is very funny. The prince's eyes widened. He could not believe it. His eyes also filled up. In his mind, he said, Sister is laughing. Sister is truly laughing. He did not want to disturb them. He quietly left. Outside, he could not stop his tears. While crying, he ran into the king. The king asked, Why are you crying? The prince quickly wiped his tears and said, Father, I am not crying. These are tears of happiness. The king asked, Tears of happiness? What? The prince smiled and said, Sister is laughing. Laughing openly. I cried out of happiness. The king's face changed. Happiness came into his eyes. Really, she is laughing? How? The prince said, Sister and brother-in-law are reading books. He said something that made Sister unable to stop laughing. The king laughed loudly. Very good. I am going to work now. Go and tell your mother. She will also be happy. The prince folded his hands. The king left. His eyes were also moist. In the room, the princess became tired from laughing. She looked at me and said, Li Shao ji, tell the truth. You did all this on purpose so that I would laugh, didn't you? I was not going to admit it. I smiled and said, Princess, it is a misunderstanding. Is that true? The princess said, Yes, they say so. I said, and he had 3,000 disciples. The princess said, Yes, and 72 were very learned. I laughed and said, Then think, a 9'6" tall person, 3,000 disciples. He was not an ordinary man. So I thought, when he was alive, spring and autumn, that is, everything was fine. When he was not there, the warring states period began. That means he was also a warrior. The princess laughed again. It seems there is some sense in it. The system said, liking +1. Now 59. 20 points for fun conversation, with 50x bonus equals 1,000 points. Total points, 1,500. The princess said, but do not say these things outside. If a scholar hears, there will be trouble. I said, that is why I tell only you. It is between us. You will not embarrass me, right? Hearing this, the princess blushed. She got up and said, enough for today. I stood up to see her off and said, it is afternoon, princess. Yesterday, I made a new dish. Please eat here before leaving and tell me how it turned out. If I had asked directly, she might have refused out of shyness. Asking this way was smarter. The princess stopped and asked, you cook too? I said with a sad face, earlier I did not. But a year ago my parents passed away. I was alone at home, so I had to learn. The princess's heart melted. The maid also helped. Princess, if you go back now, by the time food is made, it will be late. Eat here. The princess thought and said, okay, let us see your cooking. I got a chance to repay the debt of yesterday's noodles. I said, just wait a little. And I walked toward the kitchen. The system said, liking +5. Now 64. 64 liking, means the princess is beginning to like you. A big gift would come when liking reached 99. While walking, I opened the system shop. There were new items, white salt, spices, and an attribute gift pack. I bought everything without thinking. Out of 1,500 points, 1,300 points were spent. The goods arrived in the system storage. First, I used the gift pack. A warmth spread through my body. Strength, health, everything improved. I was already improved from the user gift, but now I became even better. My brain felt sharp, energy was full. I must keep buying these things. In old times, a strong body was very necessary. I reached the kitchen. The ingredients were already prepared. I thought, with a pinch of modern salt and some spices, I can beat most of the cooks of this era. I heated garlic, then added vegetables. One by one, I made 4 dishes. Carrot and meat curry, steamed fish, onion and egg stir-fry, and a pot of chicken broth. 3 dishes and 1 broth had been cooked. At the end, I added the system's salt and spices. Sorry, it took time. I had the food placed on the table and myself served rice to the princess. Such fragrance. Did you make this? The princess asked, astonished. I nodded yes. The princess, without removing her veil, picked up a piece of fish with a spoon and put it in her mouth. It melted in her mouth. In her mind, she thought, so tasty. In old times, people did not talk while eating. We 3 ate quietly. It was clearly visible that the princess was really liking the food, but she was also a little shy. After some time, she looked at the maid and said, Kampa, you also eat with us. The maid hesitated, then sat down slowly. All 3 ate together. After a few bites, the maid could not stop herself and said, Where did you learn such good food? I said humbly, just home food. The meal ended. All 3 dishes and the broth were completely finished. After eating, the princess got up and prepared to leave. I also stood up to see her off. First meeting, this much was enough. Go slowly, and if I do not understand something, I will ask you. The princess lightly waved her hand and turned away. I went to the door and watched her go. Then I came back to my room. While leaving, behind the white veil, there was a smile on her face. That meeting was very good, light, without pressure. There was something in him that made her feel completely relaxed. She forgot all her caution, and he was also very interesting. Beautiful face, that line applied to him himself. And the food was so good. If only she could get such food every day. The sound of the door brought her out of her thoughts. Oh my dear, you just separated from him and already started missing him? The princess laughed and said, So you are making fun of me? The maid said with fake anger, Why did you leave me alone in the library? I just want to get something. Then the maid laughed, and the princess blushed and raised her hand. The maid ran into the room. A game of chase began between them. Forgive me, I will not do it again. Tell me, should you be punished or not? I accept punishment. Then the punishment is, teach me embroidery. So you came directly to the point. The system's voice came. You cooked with your own hands. Both were happy. Sweet points, 20. 50x bonus. Total, 1,000 points. Total points now, 1,200. I saw the score and became happy. It was very easy. It was good that I did not act hastily. Otherwise, I would not have gotten this chance. But there was still a problem. I had nothing, no money, no house. In such a situation, how would the marriage happen? Even in modern times, a house is needed for marriage. I could not go empty-handed. And after marriage, if I stayed in the in-laws' house, it would be like a live-in son-in-law. The children would belong to their family. I did not accept this. A man cares about these things. So first I had to earn money. At least there should be a house in Beijing. I put my hand in my pocket. There was a piece of gold that the prince had forcibly given, about 8 grams. Nowadays the ratio of gold to silver is 1:5. That meant I had about 40 taels of silver. 40 taels is not less. 1 tael can buy 300 kilos of rice. In Beijing, a house could be bought for 500 to 600 taels. Now I had to grow this money with my knowledge. She is Yin Wan's daughter. I cannot go empty-handed. I must bring some big gift. Thinking this, I hid the gold and went out to find a business idea. Marriage is a big thing, and the marriage of Yan Wan's daughter would be even bigger. But my circumstances are different. Still, one cannot keep a daughter in a broken house. The king and queen were talking. Let us make him a live-in son-in-law. No, I want a son-in-law, not a live-in son-in-law. The queen said, if we give him money directly, he may feel insulted. If he becomes distant from our daughter, it will be useless. The king took a sip of tea, thinking, then let us do this. Give him some money and a house. The marriage will be from our side. That is also not right. Why? The king asked. Look at our daughter these days. She is truly happy. She likes him. If you give him money, she will think he came for money. Hatred will arise in her heart. The king heard and agreed. You are right. I had not thought of that. The queen smiled. It seems our daughter already has someone on her mind. The king said, let us do this. After the marriage, we will give as much as we want. Even if he gives 1 paisa, we will give more dowry than that. You are truly my household queen, the king said happily. Then he opened his property list. Our daughter is a piece of our heart. There is a 2,000-acre mountain farm. We will give that in dowry. The queen said, we will also give a 4-story house and 1,000 taels. The king said, money, however much, and someday. True, the queen said. I will ask father to give him a title and an official post. How would that be? The king said happily. That would be excellent. The king slammed his hand on the table. Tomorrow itself I will go to the temple and find an auspicious date. The sooner the wedding happens, the sooner we will be at peace. The next day, the king went to the temple, met the priest, and got an auspicious date, the 24th of the first month. That meant 15 days from today. He came back and called the prince to give me the news. The prince ran to me. Brother-in-law, the engagement is on the 24th. He laughed and said, father has told me. I thought, for the engagement, I will have to take a box full of gifts. I cannot go completely empty-handed. The prince understood. Brother-in-law, I must tell you one thing. Father has kept a mountain farm and a house for you in the dowry. Hearing this, I was surprised. The prince cared so much. I felt something warm inside. When someone gives so much, it is not right to go empty-handed. I looked at the prince and said, Prince, will you join me in a business? What business? His eyes lit up. I smiled, looked around, and said softly, a very big one. It can make all of Yan Wan many times richer. Hearing this, the prince was amazed. Really? Yes, I said. In my mind, I thought, this business is not something I can do alone. It will need Yan Wan's help. So we will make this a gift for father-in-law. The prince said, brother-in-law, tell me what I can do. I said quietly, find out whether there is any salt mine in this Beijing area. A salt mine? Brother-in-law, salt business. I nodded. But do not tell anyone about this. The prince became a little troubled. Brother-in-law, salt from mines is poisonous. Eating it can kill. I smiled. Just do as I say. It will not be poisonous. Hearing me, he agreed. Okay, I will find out. Brother-in-law, will you come along? No, I have some work. The system shop refreshed today. Salt extraction method. Dissolve, settle, filter, crystallize. Good white salt will be made. Cost, 3,000 points. Coca-Cola, 50 points. Toothpaste, 100 points. Right now I have 1,200 points. Today I have to earn 1,800 more. Okay, you go to meet brother-in-law. This work will also be done alone. After this business is ready, I will gift it to father-in-law. And I will also need money for the big trouble that is coming to Beijing. Thinking this, I left the prince and walked toward the princess. After the first meeting, the second is a little easier. After some time, I reached the princess's door and knocked. The maid came out quickly. Li Shao, you came, I said. I have finished all the books I had. I thought of going to the library. If I have any doubt, I can ask you. The princess came down after a little while. This time she seemed a little less formal. She smiled and said, let's go to the library. The books in my room are also finished. I bowed and said, this is a happy thing for me. Through winding paths,